We start this hour in Europe, where a Ukrainian drone attack has damaged a power line and sparked a fire at a railway station building in Russia's southern region of Volgograd overnight, according to the regional administration. Governor for the region, Andrei Bokharov, has said that an unexploded drone fell on the railway tracks near the Arcata train station. According to reports, no damage to the tracks has been reported. However, several regional trains were delayed in the area. Flights at the regional airport in the city of Volgograd were also halted for several hours, according to Russia's Civil Aviation Authority. This comes as Russia's defense ministry stated that its units destroyed a total of 61 Ukrainian drones overnight, including 6 over the Volgograd region. We're now joined by Mark Sutherland, who's a geopolitical analyst. He joins us live from London to discuss this further. Mark, thank you very much. Always a pleasure having you on the programme. Mark, I would like you to analyse Ukraine's drone and aerial strikes on Russia, the implications that it has for Moscow and its military capabilities. We obviously frequently hear of Russian strikes on Ukraine and the mass casualties that they cause, but not much about Ukraine's efforts on the Russian front. What more can you tell us about that?
By reading the information that we're all privy to, and over the last few days, it seems that, as the Ukrainians have said, that they are going for what they say is the Russian infrastructure in regards to supporting their war effort against Ukraine. A couple of days ago, they then they sent drones into an oil. There's some other tech batteries establishments that they also went for as well. So it appears, and again, we are still waiting for Russia to confirm even more on this, that is actually what is going on. They are attacking what they are the Russian war machines. And as you and I can fully appreciate, like everyone else, that with this drone technology, with this modern technology that they now have access to, they are being provided. The Ukrainians are getting hold of that technology to then reverse that against the Russians. Josh.
Yes, and Mark, Russia claims to have intercepted 61 Ukrainian drones overnight. What does this say about the scale and frequency of Ukraine's current drone operations, and also Russia's capability of countering them?
As other people observe, there is a knife edge here politically. I think within my own understanding of where Russia is at, because as these attacks then go further and further into Russia, reach other regions, including, it means that airports are then shut down for air safety as these drones are coming into their airspace, as trains, as we said, are disrupted, other train lines, delays, etc. This then starts to impede on the Russian people's lives. And if the Russians say, well, we've shot down 61 drones, in one way you can actually then look at that from a different point of view, which shows how many drones then the Ukrainians are then sending in their direction, if these reports are true. And as you fully appreciate, in any war, getting certain information and checking that and making sure that this is right takes time, because it's all part of the propaganda war. If you're then saying, well, we've shot down 61 of your drones, then basically if you're going to keep sending them, we are then going to shoot them down. We are relying on other people's information, and we are trying to ascertain the truth in this situation. But it is about, if this is happening more and more frequently, is disrupting the lives of people in Russia, which means it then politically puts Putin in a difficult position. As we've said, you and I have constantly said over the last few weeks, we wish this war to end. We know about the suffering in regard to the Ukraine and the losses on both sides, Josh.
Mark, in the backdrop of this, Donald Trump said today that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will visit Moscow to see Vladimir Putin to discuss this upcoming sanctions deadline, which is creeping up on Moscow now. What angle or approach do you think Witkoff is going to make? We've obviously seen Donald Trump sour on the Russian president in recent times, especially given that attack on the Ukrainian capital just days ago, where 31 people were killed. What sort of approach do you think the United States is going to come up to those talks with, especially given this sanctions deadline approaching?
Well, there's the carrot and the stick going on, Joshua, because President Trump has then recently, in the last week and a half, has turned around and said, we will now start sending more and more armaments into the Ukrainian theater of war. Now, he is then can do that via NATO. They then buy those and then forward that on to Ukraine. He is frustrated, and of course Putin is then hoping that Trump is then completely distracted by what is happening in the Middle East and Hamas, Israel, Iran, etc. So that is what's going on, and Witkoff really needs to be. He is then he's going in there to sound him out, but at the end of the day, it's down to Putin. Is this man going to turn around and say, right, okay, let's have a peace deal, let's stop this war? At the same time, as we've just said, he's then seeing drones come into his country and the effects of that. He's in a very, very difficult, in one sense, to some, he's in a difficult position because economically, if oil refineries, as we've said, are damaged. So Witkoff will be, my opinion, will be balancing both of these, which is to say, yes, there's tariffs because Trump is trying to use the economic weapon in this case, and it will affect Russia and their balance of payments, and there is huge questions over the state of their economy, and as you know, they are fully reliant on the oil and gas that they can then get out to the world, and they rely on that.
Yes, Mark, thank you very much. You are staying with us. We have some news coming in from the Middle East now.